Welcome back to a new video. So this is my workout from the previous Sunday, and this was just a lot of no hook, no feet stuff and some pause jerks. I do believe I split this workout between the Sunday and Monday, so it just has the weightlifting stuff here, and because of that I pushed the movements pretty hard. I did a couple warm-up sets here with 43 just to get loosened up and to practice, because I was trying to be more intentional with these lifts because I was having some issues with the no hook, no feet on one of the lighter days, and these were starting to feel pretty good. As you'll notice, I'm able to keep pushing up the weights. They were just doubles today, and I believe I did singles until I got to my first working set of 85. I'm really starting to like the no hook, no feet stuff. It's kind of nice because it's a natural limiter on the lift, so I can still push and be as aggressive as I want with the movement. But because of mostly the no hook, if it's just no feet, I certainly could push a lot heavier. But the no hook component really kind of limits how much weight I'm able to do. But I'm still able to kind of push and like feel the technique and the speed under the bar. I think it just allows my bar path to be a lot more intentional, because I'm treating the pulls like a deadlift right now, or at least trying to think deadlift until it's at my hips, and then to kind of pull myself under. And what that's allowing me to do is to be more focused on how close the bar is to my legs, and not so much on the speed of the bar, how it's moving. And as you can see here, it's not like the bar is slower. Bar still moves fast because my pull is still really easy, but I have just a more efficient pull, so I'm catching it in a better position more consistently, which is nice. My left arm there looks like it's quite sunburnt, but I do have a bit of a farmer's tan from the last month of school. I was outside quite a bit, and field day especially really kind of solidified my tan, because I was outside for probably over 10 hours. I guess even the previous week I was outside for a lot of the days, but I've got quite tan just on my arms and my neck. My legs are still as white as a ghost, but I'm not really that sunburned or anything, thankfully. I think I only had like one day where I was dealing with some of that. You see there, that's 90 kilos now. I cut that first bounce pretty well, and I'm starting to have that a little bit more. I'm not as worried about catching the bounce in a snatch. It's nice when you do, because it's kind of like a indicator that, like, all right, I put that in a perfect spot because I was able to jump right up. But it's not as an important thing. I don't think it should be a super important thing to focus on in the snatch, because it's more important to focus on being stable. And if you kind of have to sit in the bottom or bounce around a little bit to make sure, then it's better to do that than trying to jump up as quick as you can. At least from what I've noticed, it just kind of pushes myself forward. Since everything in my body wants to go into my back and use nothing but use no legs, it tends to go forward just naturally with all lifts I do. These are my two top sets I did with the snatch work with 100 kilos. I think this is the most I've done in this complex ever. It's the most I've done since I've started the program. Obviously it's a short amount of time, but certainly I was happy that I was able to get up to here, and would like to keep pushing to these numbers when I have this complex, because it feels pretty good. And I will say, kind of just like as a snapshot of how I'm feeling about the AI stuff right now, I'm kind of really liking the program, and I kind of like how I'm feeling on it and my progress with it. Obviously there was the outside factor of me getting sick that kind of made a couple of the days stink where I wasn't able to train, but that's life, and that's nothing I can really do about that. Plus with the field day, that obviously impacted some of my recoverability just because I was doing so much outside, which won't be a problem if this next week. So this is the beginning of the last week of school here, this workout. I currently have successfully made it through the school year. There's 2 more like teacher work days, but those aren't, there's no students, so there's no stress. It's just cleaning and getting grades in and stuff like that, so nothing that's too difficult. But thankfully, obviously this summer I'll be able to recover a lot more and not be outside for 8 hours a day or whatever, doing just being outside getting cooked in the sun. Certainly not ideal if you're trying to perform optimally, to be sweating out pounds and pounds of weight outside. I think I mentioned this in a previous video, but I had lost some weight, not on purpose, but just from the nature of field day. And I weighed myself again this morning, so I'm recording this on the 27th, and I was still at just under 105 kilos, and I had been at 106, 107, so definitely need to start eating more. And I've been eating a lot, but you kind of just sweat it out when you're outside a lot, but I should be able to kind of put the pounds back on and it should help my recoverability a bit as well. These are the no hook, no feet cleans plus jerks. I was able to get to here the 140. As you notice, the weights working up are pretty easy. Nothing too radically difficult with those. Jerk wasn't too easy, but the pauses in the jerk have been nice. I don't generally like them, but it's allowed me to really focus on what my elbows are doing in the dip of the jerk and really trying to focus on them being up. I decided to go up to this 145, and this is kind of where my limit is as far as the no hook, no feet clean. And the second one I was able to catch pretty well, but certainly don't think I have much more just because of how the pull felt in my hands. It was starting to kind of like pull out of my fingers, and that kind of left me in a bad position on that first clean because it was like, ooh, that feels like it's not in my hands really. The second one I just kind of manned up and did it, and then missed the jerk, but I was losing my air quite a bit on that one. So I was happy I was able to even make an attempt at the jerk, but I was getting a bit woozy on that one. This one was a better attempt, but still missed it, and that's just kind of the goal, I guess, with this movement, is to be able to get up to this number. It's definitely close, and I think if I would have done the effort on that third attempt on the first one, I probably would have made it, but you know, it is what it is. I did a regular clean and jerk here just because I wanted to end on a make. Clean looked harder than I was hoping, but the technique I was happy with, and then the technique on the jerk I was also happy with. It was nice to kind of end on this miss here. And the jerks have just been feeling better. I think the dip drive have been more aggressive, but also trying to be aggressively holding my elbows up and keeping my upper back tight. And I think that's allowed me to be just do better in the jerk, but to be more aggressive with the dip drive. And I think that's just generally helping to just create more force with the bar. And I'm not focused on as much as getting as deep as I possibly can on the dip of the jerk and using as much as my legs as possible, but more focused on just having a dynamic jerk, if that makes sense, and really just focus on the elbows, keeping them up, almost exaggerating, like pushing them up as I come down. And that seems to be helping, and I'm getting in a good groove with them, so hopefully that correlates to doing well in the jerk as the program progresses. And honestly, with how I'm feeling right now on the program, despite being sick and going through field day and all that stuff, I think I'll probably end up doing a longer block because my training has been going well, and I've kind of adjusted it to the parameters that I want. And I'm not stressed about if I had to, like, I missed 2 days because I was sick. I'm not freaking out that I missed those and like messing up the program. So I'm kind of okay with those days, and hopefully that's just a sign of my general maturity as a person, that it's okay to miss a day if you feel like complete trash, or if you're like literally sick, or in the case of like the field day where you lost pounds of weight. It's better to just not do anything than to try to stress yourself out more by pushing through a day and lifting like crap and just feeling bad about a day of training. And hopefully in the summer I'm not missing that many days at all, because I won't be doing anything other than really training. So hopefully I'll be able to be real aggressive with that. But sometimes stuff gets in the way, and it's okay, because it's better to not kill yourself in training than it is to kind of recover. And that's a hard pill for me to swallow, because I like to train every day, but sometimes you can't, and that's okay. But that's it for this one. I'll talk to you on the next one. Have a great day. Peace.